September 1st, 1904. Saw her, but then I was so scared I just hid in the shadows of an alley. She looks beautiful, but so different. She really does look like a grown-up married lady, and there was something very still about her face, very calm. I do not think she misses us at all. I feel even sadder now, although I know she is all right. I have such an empty spot inside me. And here it is, the anniversary of our arrival in America. September 2nd, 1904. Saw her again. I went without Yitzi this time. I pulled basting thread to save money for the elevated and took it uptown all by myself. Someday I shall get up the nerve to talk to her, but I just want to look at her for now. I followed her to a fruit market on Broadway and 112th. I watched how she spoke with the vendor, a lady. She was lively and charming, and I heard the lady say, "And how is Mrs. O'Malley?" These words were so unbelievable to my ears. I thought, can this be my sister? I wonder if she ever thinks of us, of me. I wonder if she remembers that I have a dream, too. September 6th, 1904. Every day for the past 5, I have seen and followed Miriam, and every day it has become harder for me to imagine myself going up and talking to her. Well, today something happened. She saw me. You see, I had been standing behind a cart at the fruit market, and the cart suddenly pulled up a few feet, so she could plainly see me. She had just picked up some fruit, and she was sniffing it just the same way Mama does. Then she looked up. She looked directly at me, and her mouth started to open. But I got so scared. I just turned and ran away. I do not know why I did this. I just knew I couldn't speak to her yet. Now I feel almost ashamed. I don't know why. She must think I am terrible. But then, since I have been seeing her these past days, she seems so complete, so in a world of her own. I think I must not disturb her. Maybe Mama was right. I should be thinking her dead. But I cannot, and I cannot stop following her. School starts tomorrow. I will not be able to follow her. Besides, it costs too much taking the elevated uptown every day. September 7th, 1904. First day of school. The teacher seems to like me. She made me class monitor. I help pass out books. I open the windows with the long pole. I wash the blackboard. The teacher likes poetry very much, and we get special points for reciting poems. I am going to try and memorize the first portion of The Song of Hiawatha. In history, we shall be learning about the American Revolution, and she will give us each a famous patriot to research and write a report on. In arithmetic, we are learning about decimal points and percentages. Yitzi knows all about these. He says he shall help me. I notice today that Mama is getting fat, or at least her stomach is. I try to be excited about the new baby, but it is hard. September 10th, 1904. It is Rosh Hashanah. This makes me miss Miriam more than ever. I remember last year when we went to synagogue and had fits of giggles watching Reb Simcha turn red as a tomato. Now Red Simcha's dead, and Miriam is a married lady uptown. Things change so fast. I never would have dreamed. One thing I did dream of was writing in English, and here I do it. September 11th, 1904. Mama and Papa had a fight tonight. She thinks he is spending too much time at rehearsals. She says that we'll need more money when the new baby comes. She brings up how she wishes Papa would go and work for Yitzi's father. They keep getting new orders. Yitzi is in high school, but he often skips to help his father. They are getting rich, Mama says. I look at Mama as she speaks these words. She sits very straight, her stomach beginning to bulge. Papa keeps saying he did not come to America to learn how to be a sweater. Then Mama mutters under her breath a tanta fruma. A strange fool is laughable, but your own fool is shameful. She pulls her wig a bit to set it straight. What a strange woman she is. One part of her is still back in Zarica, still in the shelter with her old ways. And yet another part of her is very American. She wants the money. She wants the promise of this new world. I think maybe in some ways she is less greenhorn than Papa, believe it or not. It makes her very difficult, because she wants it both ways. September 12th, 1904. Remember how I said that Mama wants it both ways? Here is the perfect example. Tova came home and was talking about a speech former President Grover Cleveland gave, which was reported in the paper. He said that sensible and responsible women do not want to vote. Tova said, "Now, isn't that the stupidest thing you have ever heard?" But Mama shakes her head and says no. Mr. Cleveland is absolutely right. Is he Jewish, she asks. He sounds so smart. Tova nearly exploded. Mama, she screamed, how can you come to America and think this way? We should have the vote. That is what is sensible. But Mama just shakes her head. See what I mean about Mama? 1 foot in the shelter, 1 foot in America. She drives us all crazy. September 15th, 1904. All Tova talks about is the presidential election to be held in November and how terrible it is that women cannot vote. She is for Alton Parker, the Democratic candidate, and not Teddy Roosevelt, the Republican one. I like Mr. Roosevelt. He's the one who helped the Pelicans in Florida. I have pictures of Mr. Roosevelt pinned to the wall, next to Madame Curie. Papa brought me another one just today. Tova says the Democratic precinct captain will be coming around to talk to us about Parker, and we should at least get the pictures of Teddy Roosevelt down. I guess the precinct captain doesn't know Papa can't vote because he isn't a citizen. Saw Miriam again today, but she didn't see me. It is strange. I don't really have the urge to talk to her now. She seems so different. But I just like to see her and know she is all right. I have thought of telling Tova, but am afraid. Tova is so wrapped up with the election and the union. September 20th, 1904. Yom Kippur was yesterday. These holidays are so hard without Miriam. Sukkot will be the worst because I shall remember how Sean helped us build the sukkah booth and how we all ate outside, and this was before anyone knew or suspected anything about Sean and Miriam. Why did they have to go and ruin it by falling in love and getting married? September 22nd, 1904. Sukkot has been better than I thought, mostly because of Uncle Shmuley. He is so funny, and he is clever, and he made us a beautiful sukkah this year. He punched designs with a nail in tin cans, and then we put candles in them, and they shine with the prettiest bits of light on our sukkah table. We got the whole thing up, and it was quite warm. So Uncle Shmuley said he would sit outside on the fire escape in the sukkah while he smokes his evening cigar. I don't know what made me do this, but all of a sudden I told Uncle Shmuley about my trips uptown to see Miriam, and how I was afraid to speak to her. He took my hand and patted it and said, "Don't be afraid, Zipporah. Never be afraid to love." This astonished me, and then I told him how I could not bear that Mama sat Shiva, that Mama thinks of Miriam as dead, and that on Yom Kippur I tried to ask God about this, how I felt that even God could never make me understand this. That I say to God, what is right about a woman saying a child is dead when she is not? And that now I feel funny about asking these questions. September 25th, 1904. This is so exciting, and only 15 minutes until Lich Benston. Even so, I am going to try to write in English and not Yiddish. Boris took me to the theater today. He was working backstage at the Thalia, and I sat in the wings quietly, as I always do when he works, and watched the play. It was Rabbi Akiba and his 24,000 disciples with Yekel and Minnie Leibowitz. Well, the stage manager says to Boris how the assistant prop girl is always so mixed up and half the time does not show up, and that he needs someone else. So Boris looks straight at me and says, "How about it, Zippy? You want to be assistant prop girl? We only play 3 nights a week, Saturday after sundown, Sunday and Thursday." Am I dreaming? From your mouth to God's ears, I am thinking. Of course, I say. I thought maybe Mama would say no, but she didn't when she heard that Boris would himself take me home from the theater in the evenings. If there is one good thing that has come out of Miriam marrying Sean, it is that nothing seems so bad to Mama by comparison. I begin my job in just a few days. I am so excited I cannot wait. September 26th, 1904. I think in another week I shall be ready to do my recitation of Hiawatha. I have been thinking that Hiawatha would make a wonderful play in Yiddish. If they make Mr. Shakespeare into Yiddish theater, why not Mr. Longfellow? Uncle Shmuley is very helpful with arithmetic. He is an expert decimal person and really understands percentages. Yitzy's good, but Yitzy does it all in his head and just keeps saying, "Don't you get it? Don't you get it?" Uncle Shmuley, despite his English, which is not nearly as good as Yitzi's, can explain it much better. September 27th, 1904. I am really glad Uncle Schmelly has moved in with us. He is the only person who really treats me like an equal, or seems to have any time for me. Papa is always working or rehearsing. Mama just doesn't pay much attention to anything except her work. She has more orders, and Tova is always with the union. Uncle Schmelly not only explains decimals, but he is telling me how bad things are getting in Russia. Uncle Schmelly knows a lot. He was a member of an organization in Russia called the Bund. They meet in secret in forests, in farmer sheds, in tiny villages. The Tsarist government hated the Bund, but the Bund continued and began printing leaflets talking about human rights, and many of the leaders led demonstrations. Soon members were being imprisoned and killed and tortured by the Tsar. The Tsar made harsher and harsher rules and laws. Uncle Schmelly says that for the Jewish people in the settlement, it is like a hangman's rope tightening around their necks. And then when they want to kill them fast, Uncle Schmelly says, they make a pogrom. I asked Uncle Schmelly, do you think Tsar Nicholas is really evil? Papa says he is just very stupid. And Uncle Schmelly says something very interesting. I think there is a point where stupidity can become evil. And yes, the Tsar reached that point many years ago. He is now evil. I think about that all night long. You see what I mean? Uncle Schmelly discusses things with me as an equal. September 30th, 1904. Last night was my first night as a prop girl. I got there very early. There are many props that have to be handed to stagehands or to actors as they come off stage during the performance. They call these props the handoffs. The handoffs must be very well organized, and one must be ready with them. The script was well marked to show me when they were needed. Boris had given me the script before, and I studied it very hard. I did my job perfectly. It was so exciting. The actors all complimented me, and the stage manager said I was as good as gold. October 2nd, 1904. I love my job. Tonight was my third night at the Thalia. I now know all the actors by name. They call me Zippy. Boris and Mamie took me out to a cafe for a pastry afterward. They are very much in love. They told me they want to get married when they have enough money saved up. They will have the most beautiful children. Mamie has the most wonderful red hair, and I told her she should never wear a wig. Why would I do that? I'm a Yankee girl now, she said. October 8th, 1904. Guess what? I am now an 8th grader. I have caught up with my age. I am so excited. Last week I did my recitation of Hiawatha, and the teacher said I did it very well. But still I am surprised. But she said that I can do 8th grade math, and can read and write so well that I should have no problem. And now Blue has been promoted too. She is a 7th grader, but I think she'll be in 8th grade by Purim. I would love to tell Miriam I'm an 8th grader now. October 15th, 1904. I am so busy. I went with Mamie to see a hall where she and Boris might have their wedding in the springtime. Then she took me to a shop on Canal Street to look at beautiful fabric for a gown that she might buy. She said that since she has no mother or sisters, she is making me her wedding advisor. Besides the wedding advising, I still have much schoolwork. 8th grade is not easy. The easiest part is spelling. I have gotten 100% on every spelling test. Geography is hard. There is much to memorize. All the states and their capitals, lists of natural resources and agricultural products from every part of the country. Then I must do a report on a president. We drew names out of a hat. I got Millard Fillmore. I never even heard of that president. And of course, I am still an assistant prop girl. The show ends soon. I hope to get another job in another show. October 18th, 1904. Mama gets fatter every day. This is going to be some big baby. She is happy, I can tell. She wants a boy, although she says just a healthy baby. I hope this baby doesn't take up too much time. What if I have to help take care of it the way Blue does with her mother? What if I have to give up my job at the theater? This job is the beginning of my career. I learned that new word this week. I like it. Career. It means more than a job. It means a life. October 21st, 1904. Big news, wonderful news, maybe the best news. Papa has been offered a full-time position teaching violin at the New York Conservatory of Music. He will make as much money as in the shop. But this is the other thing Papa did that is really making Mama happy. He did this before he even told us about the conservatory. He will 3 nights a week help in Yitzy's father's shop. This really pleases Mama. It was very smart of Papa to do this. You see, I think that Mama does not really understand art. Mama thinks that to really earn money, to make a living, you must make something that you can hold in your hands and then sell, like a cloak or a shirtwaist. Music slips through the air. Music floats into your ears and then out again. The images that music makes, at least for Mama, vanish like clouds blown by the wind. So now Papa earns a living in 2 ways. One way for him and one way for Mama. They seem very happy. October 23rd, 1904. Minnie Leibowitz, the star of the show, got sick tonight after the second act. Her understudy had to go on. I could have done a better job. I know the lines better. I have been memorizing all of the lines of all the actors, at least the girl actors, for just this reason. Of course, Minnie plays a completely grown-up woman, so it would be hard for them to put me in her part. But still, someday somebody's going to get sick who is about my age and size, and I shall be able to step into their shoes. October 24th, 1904. Who in the world is Millard Fillmore? I know he was president, but that is all. A lot of people don't even know he was president. I better find out something soon. The report is due in another week. October 25th, 1904. Boris the rescue again. He took me uptown to the same place where Mandy took me for the information on Madame Curie, City College. We found a lot of things about Mr. Fillmore. He is still pretty boring. I wish I got Abraham Lincoln. Yetta Greenberg got Abraham Lincoln, and believe me, Lincoln is completely wasted on Yetta Greenberg. She is a dimwit. Isn't that the most wonderful American expression? It's so good it could almost be Yiddish. October 30th, 1904. Went uptown and spotted Miriam today. It is getting harder and harder for me to imagine speaking to her. I cannot figure this out. It is more than just that Mama would be angry with me.